here today and pulled off that fuel pump. Here it is right here. Went down to the lawnmower place to get a new one, and they sold me a plastic one. The metal one like that, it probably would be a lot more expensive anyway. But before I get back to putting that on the lawnmower, I thought I would just temporarily hook up the lines. I didn't film it, but I hooked all my fuel lines back up to a small tank. It's here somewhere off of another riding lawnmower. And I hooked all that up just to make sure that the problem wasn't over there in that tank. Well, when I did, every line on here was leaking gasoline. So I bought 6 feet of fuel line hose. This one here goes back to the tank. Well, it turns out, I had to get under here and look. The tank, where it hooks up to the bottom of the tank, the fuel line is dripping. I've been smelling gas in the garage. And it's not really easy to get to. It looks like I got to take the whole rear off the tractor. This, I don't know what you call it, this part here that has the seat hooked up to it. It's bolted down there on the side. I'll probably have to sit down with some sockets and ratchets and unbolt it to lift it off there to get to the fuel tank. I don't see any other way to take that fuel tank off without taking this whole rear off. But it looks like the fitting that goes in the bottom of the tank is leaking anyway. Either I can manufacture one, or I'll have to order one, or find some suitable substitute to hook up to that fuel tank. So I won't get done with it today, but I did get the old fuel pump off. From this fuel pump here, it's got it's vacuum operated off the engine, one of these lines. It's got 3 different lines coming to the fuel pump. This one here goes to the carburetors. And if I have to, I'll clean them too. I don't want to spend a whole lot of money on this old tractor because you never know when that engine is going to give up the ghost. I got a lot of miles on it. But I think I can get it back running good enough to pull my generator trailer and my spray trailer and everything. This old belly mower on here is wore slap out. I've replaced it and repaired it a dozen times over the years. I might just drop the belly mower off and use this for pulling and hauling stuff. But I definitely use my zero turn to do all my grass cutting now. Anyway, that's where I'm standing on my riding lawnmower. I'm going to spend some time and effort trying to get it back in shape. I can't stand having it leaking gas. We know it's nothing wrong with the engine right now because I ran it a good 10 minutes yesterday. Even if I do have to clean the carburetors, that's not serious. With all the storm they're talking about we're going to get here in Atlanta, I probably won't be getting a whole lot done for the next couple of days. I've been watching the news all day. I'm sure many of you have, on the hurricane that's coming down there through Florida and wherever it's coming. Sure, there's a lot of people trying to ride it out. That's the biggest, dumbest mistake you could make. They said there's going to be a 10-foot surge of water come through there. That means you better be a damn good swimmer. My little hibiscus plant probably won't have no blooms on it after a couple of hours of wind blowing. Got my fingers crossed that storm will go somewhere else. I got enough work to do around here without having to cut down more trees. That elm tree takes a lot of wind. My big oak tree, either one of those fall, they're not likely to hit the house. But this cedar tree could. And this oak tree around back, it could fall right on the house. I hope not, though. We had bratwurst on the grill today. I need to put that grill away. Go in and get ready to watch the ball game. Anyway, I hope everybody down there in Florida and other areas where the tornadoes, where the hurricane's going to hit, got enough sense to get out of Dodge. I saw on the news where some of them are just going down to Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere and buying some plywood and some sandbags. They think all they got to do is put boards on their window and ride out the storm. Well, I got news for you. 150-mile-an-hour winds in that hurricane will blow the roof right off your house. It ain't no little mild windstorm. They really don't have no conception of what's coming. 150 miles an hour will just blow your house away. So many of them say, yeah, we're going to ride it out. Somebody mentioned on one of these channels that they're telling people that stay to ride out the storm to be sure to write their social security number on their arm so we can identify their dead body when they find them floating out there in the river, lake, or wherever they wind up. There ain't no sense in risking your life and limb for a storm when you've had advance warning. I wish them all the best. But it don't make a lot of sense to me. If I was living down there, I'd be getting out of Dodge. My prayers go out to them, that's for sure. Thanks for listening, my friend.